What's up guys, GameNut here, and welcome back to my NFL regular season predictions. Of course, we had to bring it back for year number 2, man. I had so much fun doing this series with you guys last year. I know within the past couple of videos, a lot of you guys were asking me, am I going to be bringing my predictions back this year? And obviously, you guys have your answer. We're doing it again for year number 2. I love doing it last year, like I said. I know some of you guys enjoyed doing it, and all in all, it was a ton of fun, and I could not be more excited that we have regular season football back, man. It took so long to get here, and it's finally here, man. Like I'm so excited that we have football for the next, like, what, 5-6 months or something like that. It's a great time of the year, man. And of course, we are kicking things off with our week 1 predictions. So my biggest goal for year number 2 of doing these predictions is I want to improve on my overall record of how many games I guessed correctly in this season. So last year I went and found it. We ended up getting 145 guesses correct. 109 was the losses, or the incorrect guesses, and the 2 ties. Obviously the ties, we can't really predict those. I mean, we could, but they're not likely to happen. So I got 145 games guessed correct last year, and obviously, as you know, we competed against Madden 19. I simulated every single week, saw what they were going to predict as the outcomes of the game as well, and they guessed 143 games correct. So I barely edged them out last year just by 2 games. So we're going to do the same thing this year, compete against Madden 20. However, my biggest goal this year is I want to see if I can get more than 145 games correct. So boys, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop in to our week 1 schedule of the 2019 season and get these predictions going, man. So, of course, you guys know, opening kickoff, we had Thursday night football. We had the Green Bay Packers taking on the Chicago Bears. Now, obviously, you also guys do know that I bring these videos out every single Sunday before the games actually start. And obviously, Thursday night football happened, what, 2-3 days ago. And the way that obviously I predict these is I put a tweet out on my Twitter. So if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, you know, I don't have too many followers over there. If you guys want to see more than just my predictions, you know, by all means, go ahead and follow me. But I did put a tweet out saying who I thought was going to be the winner for Green Bay versus Chicago, and you guys are seeing it. I was definitely in the minority here, but I was able to guess it correctly. A good start to the year, man, going 1-0. I did predict that Green Bay was going to be the winners of this game, and I mean, it was an interesting game. Definitely a very defensive battle. I'm actually kind of happy I got this right, because if you guys watched these predictions last year, I was awful guessing Thursday night games. I don't know what it was. I'm pretty sure I guessed at least like 13 games incorrect for all Thursday night games last year. It was terrible. So to start off the year 1-0, man, it definitely feels pretty good. So now with our first Sunday game, we have the Los Angeles Rams going to take on the Carolina Panthers. And, you know, if this was last year, I would have been like, boom, Rams are going to win this game. Easy, no question. But to start off this year, man, it's I'm trying to think about it a little bit. I mean, obviously Todd Gurley's banged up, so I don't even know what his situation really is. Cam Newton, I think he might still be banged up a little bit, so they might be without their starting quarterback. I have no idea. I'm actually pretty sure he is playing. But again, man, like, I don't know. I almost want to say Carolina, but I kind of want to just keep it safe, and I think the Rams are obviously going to start off strong on the season because obviously that team is still pretty nasty. They were a Super Bowl team last year, and I think the Rams, I just gotta go with my gut here, and I think Los Angeles is going to be the team that starts off with a victory. Next up, we have the Washington Redskins going to take on their division rival, the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are playing at home, and this one's definitely got to be easy call. I'm going with Philly. I don't really see the Eagles losing this game. They're all back. They're all healthy. Carson Wentz is starting. For some reason, the Redskins are starting Case Keenum at quarterback. Like, why? You drafted a rookie quarterback for a reason, and you're going to start Case Keenum? I don't even know, man. But there's no way the Eagles lose this game at home, their opener. I don't see it happening. Philly's definitely got to be getting the win here. We have another division matchup here. The Buffalo Bills going to take on the New York Jets, and I'm definitely a little torn on this one, man. Like, I really can't settle on which team I think's going to win because obviously both of these teams are not amongst the higher tiered teams in the league, to put it nicely, I guess, if I'll say. But if I'm gonna be honest here, like I said, I'm really not sold on which team I think's gonna win. I can't really decide. I'll just be a homer in this situation, I guess, and I'm gonna pick the home team, which is the New York Jets, obviously. I mean, with Le'Veon Bell being back, I mean, we haven't seen that dude play football in like 2 years or something like that, but I think to play it safe here, I think I'm just going to be going with the Jets getting the win. Next game is the Atlanta Falcons going to take on the Minnesota Vikings. I think this is going to be a very good game. It's probably going to be pretty close because obviously the Falcons have a very good offense and the Minnesota defense is very good, so I think it's going to be a close game. But again, this is one that I'm torn on, man. Like, I'm basically just shooting in the dark here because it's like I'm so torn on which team to pick because if you think about it, like, we haven't seen any of these teams, man. Like, it's week week 1 of the season. We don't know what these guys look like. They're all healthy. They were rested up during the offseason. We've got all draft picks. We've got all offseason additions that they made. So it's like these teams, it's like we really don't know how they're going to come out week 1 and play, to be honest. But so as for this game, though, like I said, I really can't decide on who I think is going to win this game. But if I had to make a choice, God, I want to say the Vikings, but I want to say the Falcons. I'm going to just say the Vikings. There, I did it. I don't know who's going to win, but I'm just going to go with Minnesota. Next game up, we have my Baltimore Ravens. If you guys are new around here, which most of you guys probably know this anyway, my team is the Baltimore Ravens. We are going to Miami to take on the Dolphins, and this is without any question, man. We are going to absolutely obliterate the Dolphins, man. We are going to probably put up a 50 burger. We ain't going to let up no points. All right, let me calm down. I mean, that's obviously not going to be the score, but nonetheless, dude, like, we're definitely blowing out the Dolphins. I don't see this being any bit of a close game at all. I definitely think this is going to be the easiest victory for my team all year long. Obviously, my Ravens coming out on top. Next up, we have Patrick Mahomes, the reigning MVP, and his Chiefs going to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And again, this got to be easy pick. We have to go with the Chiefs here in this situation. It's kind of weird because if you think about it, the Jaguars, their defense hasn't really changed too much in the past like 2 years. But if you think about it, the year that they made it all the way to the AFC Championship game, their defense was disgusting. They were one of the top defenses in the league. You fast forward a year, and their defense really didn't change. They didn't like lose anybody like at all. You know, you can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but they were an awful team last year. It's like, what happened? So it's like, I do think the Jaguars are going to bounce back this year, but starting off the year having to play the Chiefs, I don't see them getting the win. Next is the Tennessee Titans traveling to Cleveland to take on the very hyped up Browns. Man, like, obviously, like, I do think the Browns are an okay team, but man, do I think that, you know, the entire league, the entire world is just hyping them up way too much and setting them up for failure, man. Like, everybody thinks that they are guaranteed to be a playoff team. I don't see it happening. I think the Browns are going to have an okay season, but I do not see them making the playoffs. Now that my little rant is over about Cleveland, because everybody's just giving them way too much praise at this point, like I said. Anyways, I do think Cleveland will start off the season 1-0, though. They're definitely going to get the better of the Titans. First game, it's going to be a home opener. The crowd's probably going to be going wild for Cleveland. I definitely think that they're going to be getting the win at home. Now, my next pick might surprise some of you guys. If we had the Andrew Luck Colts going to take on the Chargers here, without question, I think I would have said the Colts are winning this game easily. However, without Andrew Luck, because he decided to bail on his team 10 days before the season started, I don't really know how this game is going to go. I mean, also, we have the Chargers without Melvin Gordon, without Derwin James. They definitely have a couple of hits. It never seems like the Chargers can catch a break, man. They're always getting injuries. Now they got Melvin Gordon being a little crybaby, wanting a big contract and all that. I think I'm honestly, I think I'm going to go with the Colts, man. You guys might call me crazy here. This is going to be my wild pick of the week, I'll say. I think they're going to get it done because the Colts defense is obviously still very nice, and the Chargers offense, I feel like they're just going to get off to a rocky start to the season. And without Derwin James leading that defense, I don't know, man. I think Jacoby Brissett, I think he's going to shock some people and start getting some people, excited for the Colts, looking forward to them. So I think I'm going to go with Indy on the upset on this one. Next game, we have the Cincinnati Bengals going to take on the Seattle Seahawks. This is without a question. The Seahawks are winning this game. No doubt whatsoever. There's no way the Bengals, they're not a very good team. They're without AJ Green still. Andy Dalton, they need to move on from him already. Don't know why they still have him as their starting quarterback. But Seattle, man, they're a great team. They're traveling to Seattle. Don't see Cincinnati coming out of this game alive. Next up, we have the Niners going to take on the Buccaneers. And for this game, man, obviously both of these teams are not that great. I'd say the Buccaneers are a little bit worse of a team. But with the Niners, they got Jimmy G back. They got some new additions. They got like Tevin Coleman and all that. I'm gonna go with the Niners. The Niners look like the more promising team. Again, like I said, this is week 1, so we don't really know how either of these teams are going to compete and, really perform in this first opening game. But if I had to go with a team, I feel like Niners are the safest choice here to go with, that they're going to win this game. Our usual week 1 matchup of the year. This always happens, I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they always schedule the New York Giants taking on the Dallas Cowboys in week 1 of the season. Whether it's a primetime game, whether it's a 4 o'clock game, whatever, they always play each other week 1 for some reason. And I definitely see the Cowboys winning this game. They got Zeke back. He finally got paid. Dallas still has a pretty good defense, and the only guy that is on the Giants that is, you know, somewhat capable of carrying these guys to a victory is obviously Saquon Barkley. I really don't see the Giants getting this win here. If they do, the world's going to explode. It's actually going to be crazy. I won't understand football if the Giants somehow beat the Cowboys, but I definitely see Dallas getting an easy win here. Next game is the Detroit Lions going to take on the Arizona Cardinals, and you know, y'all can hate me if you want. I know some of you guys agree with me, some of you may not, but if I'm going to be honest, I really think Kyler Murray is going to be a bust. I don't see that kid doing absolutely anything in the NFL. I saw him play a little bit in the preseason. He just doesn't look like he is going to be an NFL caliber quarterback. I just don't see it happening, man. And, you know, in general, I do think the Cardinals' ceiling is like 4 wins. I just don't see them being a good team. They're definitely going to be one of the worst in the league again. And the Lions, obviously, they're better. They have a pretty solid defense. I think they're going to make Kyler Murray very nervous, and, you know, especially with that front seven. And I definitely see Detroit starting off the season with the win. And then we have our first Sunday night football game of the year, and man, it's definitely going to be a good one. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers going to take on the New England Patriots. 90-year-old Tom Brady still on the field. I definitely don't see New England losing this game, though. I don't see them starting the season 0-1. You know, they're traveling to New England. Obviously, it's going to be a very hostile environment, and the Patriots usually get the best of Pittsburgh. It's always a good game between these two. It's going to be close, but end result, it's kind of hard to see the Patriots losing their home opener in this situation on prime time even. And then finally, we have our first 2 Monday Night Football games of the year. First one is obviously the Houston Texans going to take on the New Orleans Saints. This got to be an easy pick, man. We got to go with the Saints. The offense for the Texans, man, it's literally just Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, the O-line's not that great. The running back situation sucks now. I mean, behind DeAndre Hopkins, they got Will Fuller, which he'll get hurt eventually, and then basically just these no-name average receivers. And the Saints are obviously, they're a killer team. I don't see Houston going into New Orleans. Again, first game of the season, traveling to a hostile environment. The New Orleans crowd is probably going to be wild. I don't see Drew Brees dropping a loss here at his home opener of the season. And finally, our last game of the week is going to be the Denver Broncos taking on the Oakland Raiders. We got that diva Antonio Brown. First, he's getting in fights with his GM. Now he's not getting suspended by the team. Now he's playing on Monday night. I don't know what their situation is, man. But, you know, aside from all of the drama between Antonio Brown, I still don't think the Raiders are that good of a team. Derek Carr, I mean, he's not that good. I still don't believe it. The defense of Oakland was terrible last year. They really didn't add anything that, like, is going to say, hey, Oakland's going to be like a top 10 defense this year and whatnot. And the Broncos, man, obviously still have a very good defense. They got my boy Joe Flacco. Of course, you guys know I'm going to be rooting for the Broncos a lot this year, man, because they got my man Flacco over there. I'm going to be they're like my second team this year, man, because I want to see Flacco do good, of course. But, you know, like I said, he looked pretty good in the preseason for the Broncos, and I'm definitely going to be going with Denver in this game. I don't see Oakland, you know, they just still don't seem like a complete team to me. Unless they surprise me Monday night after I watch this game, I think I'm just going to be placing the safe bet here and going with Denver. And there you guys have it, man. There are my predictions for the first week of the NFL season. It feels so good to be back, man. But of course, before I let you guys go, what I do in this series, what I did last year, I did say it earlier on in the video, I like to compete against Madden and see what they predict to be the outcomes of every single game each week, because, you know, they're the company that's actually making the football game around the NFL, so you'd think they'd be able to predict games, but, you know, obviously last year I did better than them, so we're going to see what the result of that is this year for Madden 20. So to start things off, we're going to run through these very quickly, and of course, after I go through them, I'll show you guys the clip on the franchise to show you what they predicted, just to show you that I'm not lying about them. But anyways, to kick things off with Thursday Night Football, they do have the Bears beating the Packers. Obviously, we already know what happened, and EA's getting that wrong. So they're starting off 0-1. We're starting off 1-0. Let's get it. Anyway, moving forward, we have the Rams and the Panthers. They're actually siding with the home team here, and they're picking the Panthers over the Rams. That's kind of an interesting choice there. For the Redskins and the Eagles, they're also siding with us, picking the Eagles in this situation. For the Bills and the Jets, they're going against us, picking the Bills, which again, this is a game that, you know, I think could go either way, so they are going against us, choosing Buffalo. Same for the Falcons and the Vikings, going against us here as well, picking the Falcons to win this game. Another one, like I said, could go either way. They are a little bit smart. They did pick my Ravens to beat the Dolphins. At least they're not too stupid. Moving on, Chiefs and the Jaguars. They have the Jaguars edging out the Chiefs at home and making Mahomes go 0-1 to start the season. That's interesting. As for the Titans and the Browns, they have the Browns losing their home opener to the Titans. I don't know about that. It's going to be interesting if it does happen. Next up, Colts and Chargers. They are siding with us as well. They do have the Colts beating the Chargers in this game with Jacoby Brissett. That's that's going to be interesting if it actually does happen in real life. As for the Bengals and the Seahawks, they got the Bengals winning this game, man. Like, what are y'all doing? You really think the Seahawks are going to lose this game against the Bengals? Come on, man. Next up, 49ers and the Buccaneers. They do, again, going against us here. They're going against us a lot here so far in the first week. They've got the Buccaneers beating the Niners in this situation. Cowboys and Giants siding with us, picking the Cowboys. As for the Lions and the Cardinals, they have Kyler Murray starting off his career 1-0, siding with Arizona in this game. And as for our last 3 games, they are siding with us for all 3 of them. We picked New England. They picked New England to win. They also picked the Saints to beat the Texans. And finally, they also chose the Broncos to beat the Raiders. So there you guys have it, man. That is the week 1 predictions. I'm so excited. I can't wait to continue to do this series all over again this year, man. Regular season football is back, and it feels so good, man. Make sure you guys put a thumbs up on the video if you guys did enjoy it. This is going to be an interesting week because EA definitely went against us on quite a few picks this year, so we could start off the year really well. They could start off pretty bad, and also, you know, vice versa. It could go the other way as well. But like I said, man, thank you guys all so much for watching. Of course, enjoy football. It's our first official Sunday back, man. Watch as many games as you possibly can. Watch all the highlights. I hope your teams do good, and I hope they win. But again, guys, thank you all so much for watching, man. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, put a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and I will catch you all in the next one. Take it easy, guys. Peace out.